Good morning and welcome to the historic Rocky Mountain Area Chamber of Commerce 117th Annual and first ever virtual meeting. Hopefully the last one for at least another 100 plus years. I would like to recognize our presenting sponsor for the 5th year in a row, our friends at Rocky Mountain Mills. Thank you, Michael and Evan. Additional thanks go to our keynote speaker sponsor, the City of Rocky Mount. Thank you, Rochelle, your team, and our good neighbor. A special thanks to Lisa Stokes and her team at Suddenlink for sponsoring our annual Distinguished Citizen of the Year Award. Additional thanks go to our Chairperson Circle, BB&T Truist, Cummins-Rocky Mountain Engine Plant, First Carolina Bank, and Southern Bank. Our supporting sponsors, Body Knoll Enterprise, Coastal Credit Union, Dr. Monique Brown and her staff, Providence Bank, and PNC. I especially thank you, our members, for your support this past year. Your trust and belief in your chamber has never meant more. Wow. What a year, almost to the day we gathered at Nash Community College with another capacity crowd for our annual meeting. Little did any of us know what lay ahead. This morning, and every morning during this pandemic, the sun has risen and at day's end set. You know, friends, since the beginning of time, that occurrence always happens. Every day. It's what we choose to do between the rise and setting of the sun. While the past 11 months have been so very different in so many ways, we all have learned how to pivot, often multiple times each day. We have learned much about ourselves and each other. We've discovered new ways to conduct business, and I know we have at the Chamber certainly made changes. All of us have been brought closer to our families at mealtime and other times. We've learned more patience and have helped our fellow citizens who have and are experiencing hard times due to COVID-19. You might say we're showing a kinder and caring side. I hope each of you have had a chance to see the many ways that we at the Chamber have assisted this past year in the report mailed out to you in November. There are always blessings in any challenge. You just have to look for them. Your Chamber has been busy, very busy. We've changed many processes this year and brought in more technology thanks to the generosity of some of our donors. This will enable us to serve our membership even better. We've stepped up our communications, addressed the ever-changing needs of our community. We've addressed issues both social and business related. One of our new committees, our Minority Business Development Committee, which is chaired by Dr. Haywood Parker, is one I'm most proud of. Our board feels this committee will assist best in developing more business opportunities for minorities within our community. You will be hearing more from this and this committee throughout the year and years to come. We have assisted more business nonprofits than perhaps in recent memory. This chamber is more focused, driven, and equipped to help drive the Rocky Mountain area to greater heights. These are not just mere words. Look around. The new DMV office is here. This is the first major state agency to relocate outside of Raleigh. Look up and down Wesleyan Boulevard, Sunset Avenue, Bimmernew Road, just to name a few. At these places, you will see Alan Matthews' fingerprints all over. We're proud to assist both the Carolinas Gateway Partnership and the Nash Economic Development and Industrial Growth. The development plans are underway at both Gold Rock and Sunset Extension I-95. I really like where Rocky Mount will be coming out of this downturn. Once again, your chamber finished as the 5th chamber overall in the Triangle Top 25 members. trailing only Raleigh, Durham, Cary, and Chapel Hill Carborough. We could not accomplish all that we have done this past year without wonderful people and your support. I truly mean those words. We know 2021 will still offer many challenges, most related to COVID-19. And we believe by the second half of the year, we certainly hope so, we will begin to come out of it. And hopefully by Q4 this year, the new norm will begin. We have an exciting year planned, and we can't wait. Before I turn it over to our chair for 2020, Amanda Bell, I want to thank Amanda, our executive committee, our board for the amazing support and guidance I've received this past year. I couldn't have done it without you. A special thanks to my staff, Alan Matthews, Beverly O'Berry, Desiree Dolberry, and Olivia Smith. Sorry, Sam, I can't thank you yet, as you weren't here last year, but I can tell you I'm sure excited and glad you're with us this year. Two others I want to express my appreciation. Speedy O'Berry, Beverly's husband. He does so much for us. Now, ladies, he brings Beverly's lunch every single day. He runs various errands for us and a whole lot more. My wife, Mary Ann. She's my rock. Thank you, honey, for allowing me to spend the time that I need to at the chamber during these trying times in our community. She's now reupholstering several of the chairs at the office, so, stay tuned for more on that. Now, it is my pleasure to turn the meeting over to Amanda Bell, our chair for 2020. Amanda?
Well, good morning, and thank you, David, for your remarks. It is now my pleasure to present to you Mr. Sam Bass, our new Director of Membership, who's going to give you an update on 2020's membership.
Hello and Happy New Year. My name is Sam Bass, and I'm the new Membership Director here at the Chamber. And I'm excited to be a part of the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce. I, too, would like to thank each of you for attending your meeting this morning. Now I will present the membership report for 2020 and share our goals for 2021. The Chamber was pleased to add 50 new members in 2020. We appreciate the community's belief in the Chamber, especially during a pandemic. 68 members were lost due to various reasons from January 1st, 2020 through the year. Some were directly affected by either loss of business due to the pandemic or the necessity to close. Unfortunately, we also had some members to pass away. We had a net loss of 18 members with a net loss of revenue of $7,116. The good news is, as David mentioned, the Chamber is still ranked number 5 in the Triangle Area top chambers, with the Rocky Mount Area Chamber being only behind the chambers in Raleigh, Cary, Durham, and Chapel Hill, Carborough. Thanks to the current membership and the community, we more than held our own compared to many other area chambers of commerce, and I'm happy to report that the new year has started on a very positive note, as we have already added 13 new members. Going forward into 2021, we hope to recapture many of the aforementioned businesses that resigned for various reasons, and along with a strategic approach, we hope to add new membership. Our goal for 2021 is to grow the Chamber to over 700 members. I would urge anyone that knows of a potential new member to the Chamber to reach out to me so that I can make contact with them. An example of this is that during my first week here at the Chamber, a friend of mine and a friend of the Chamber, Dr. Reed Parrott, referred a business to me for membership. This resulted in 2 new members, as the business that Dr. Parrott referred to me in turn referred another business to me. To summarize, new member total for 2020 was 50, with a total revenue gain of $18,009. Lost members for the 2020 calendar were 68, with a total lost revenue of $25,125. 18 net lost members, 7,116 net lost revenue. The current membership now stands at 651. Thank you.
Good morning. What a pleasure to speak to an audience that represents our business community as well as those business professionals and volunteers that work tirelessly to strengthen our city and our two-county area. The Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce well represents the center of our business community, providing that branded name, Chamber, as a place to seek information, bringing growth opportunities and new businesses in our city. With a limited amount of time, I would like to share from my business recruitment perspective activities that demonstrate why we should all expect continued growth from small businesses, retail, service industries, as well as hospitality. A contributing reason is our identity as a great location to move products from north, south, east, and west, providing quick and more cost-efficient means accessing major ports along our East Coast. Our region will play a major role in transportation with growth created in the industrial sectors from the industrial recruitment efforts such as Carolina Gateway Partnership, capturing CSX Intermodal, and the growing opportunities with imports and exports. This will bring about an increased demand for existing and new small businesses. Small businesses make up 99.7% of U.S. employer firms, 64% of net new private sector jobs, 49.2% of private sector employment, 42.9% of private sector payroll, and 46% of private sector output. In addition, 43% of the high-tech employment and 98% of firms exporting goods. Based on North Carolina Department of Revenue sales based from gross collections in the Rocky Mount MSA, continuing through 2020 to show constant gains in sales tax revenue. The Rocky Mount MSA through November 20 has outperformed the state with a 5.7% increase, while the state is a positive 3.5%. Retail sales is a leading indicator representing 70% of our national, state, and regional economy. In addition to the numbers, we have the ability to capture incremental retail sales from the most major north-south route in America, our Interstate 95. Linking us from New York to Florida, I like to say New York to orange juice, and Interstate 87 linking us to major metropolitan areas west, such as Raleigh-Durham, Research Triangle, Greensboro Triad, Charlotte, and east to our world-famous Greater Outer Banks, the OBX. We could not be better situated geographically than intersection I-95 and I-87. Through business recruitment at Chamber in partnership with City, CGP, NCDOT, along with community leader support, we have accomplished opening that opportunity and creating the right environment to maximize that growth potential. Watch for great things to happen, bringing capital investments, job creation, and increased property values, along with increased tax base for our counties and cities within our region. This project will increase our regional draw. The NCDOT has contributed greatly to contributing improved infrastructure. As an example, the Highway 301 corridor expanded to 6 lanes and new bridge over Sunset Avenue, which is a major corridor into our central city, providing new growth along the perimeter of Sam's Club, bringing in additional sales tax revenues for our 4-county market, Nash, Edgecombe counties, as well as Wilson County to the south and Halifax County to the north. The results are evident with in excess of $50 million in capital investment, with Sam's Club exceeding over $85 million, which makes them an above average store within the corporation, and contributing to the decision by Mosley Development success in capturing Panera Bread, Popeyes, Starbucks, co-branded with Cade's Jewelry, Freddy's Ice Cream. Business recruitment continues to work towards encouraging opportunities for our important central city and all major corridors leading into the central city. Certainly, our event center will be a major anchor for future growth in our inner city, as well as our historic Rocky Mount Mills. We also are working to identify voids in the market and focus attention on all areas of our city. We are currently expecting 4 new national branded restaurants in our city next year, as well as 2 major centers to bring consumer spending from outside our city. Plans are submitted to our city on 2 of these 4 businesses currently. We have a lot to be proud of and many reasons to have high expectation for the Rocky Mount greater area. Thank you to the Rocky Mount Chamber for allowing me this time to share.
Welcome. It is such a pleasure to be in the headquarters of the Department of Motor Vehicles right here in Rocky Mount. And what a treat it is for all of us to welcome the Commissioner of the Department of Motor Vehicles, Tory Jessup. He's going to be speaking with us as our keynote speaker. I hope you've read his bio. It's wonderful. He has a rich background in private and public sector, and now he's bringing all those skills and all that energy right here to Rocky Mount. So, Commissioner, it is with great pleasure that we welcome you to Rocky Mount, and thank you for sharing some of your thoughts with us here for our annual Chamber meeting and banquet. So thank you.
Well, thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I'm humbled by the invitation to be the keynote speaker, the primary speaker for the annual meeting for the Rocky Mount Chamber. And, you know, the welcome has been incredible from the city of Rocky Mount and the partners and that we've worked with so far in our transition from Raleigh to Rocky Mount. So I'm looking forward to meeting more of our community partners out there. I've told our team that, you know, I want to make sure that we're not just present in Rocky Mount. You know, this is not just a place to work, but we want to be involved in the community. And so far, you know, we've been met with open arms and, you know, at some point when we're not so socially distanced, we'll embrace the community back.
Well, great. Well, we're known for our Southern hospitality, so welcome. But you're from the South. I mean, you grew up in Winston-Salem. You've been in Charlotte for a number of years, serving in lots of wonderful, as I said, private and public sector roles. But you were appointed as commissioner about 3.5 years ago. What has transpired during that time, and have you enjoyed it?
So it's hard to believe that it's been 3.5 years, but I guess you know, that old cliche is, you know, time flies when you're having fun. And, you know, it's been challenging, but it's been rewarding at the same time. You know, it's not a secret that in the summer of 2018, we had long lines and people were talking about long lines, but what we also did was we dug in, we assessed the problems that we had going on. The next summer when we had our summer surge again, we had put a lot of different processes in place to make sure that, you know, we did a much better job, and we did. We did probably about 100,000 more transactions in half the wait time. So it has been, you know, challenging yet rewarding. But that's, you know, coming into the job, I knew what we were facing. The North Carolina Division of Motor Vehicles is not much different than many DMVs across the country, where we were operating with some outdated processes and some obsolete technology. But what that also meant to me was that I knew that there was great opportunity. I like a good challenge. I've been in some challenging roles in my past, in my career, and this was yet another one. And so the reward is actually putting in place some new things and new processes and meeting new people and watching the organization grow in the right direction.
Well, a little bit later we're going to talk about, if that weren't enough, the real ID and the pandemic and the increased population for the state and whatnot. But first, let's talk about Rocky Mount.
Sure.
How were we lucky enough, or what was the reason that we attracted you all to Rocky Mount?
I remember in that procurement process, we visited quite a few sites, some in Raleigh, some in Cary in the Research Triangle Park, and then there was one in Rocky Mount. And I'll never forget that day. We came to see this location where we are right now, and there was a great big welcome committee.
Yeah, good for Rocky Mount.
It was a great big welcome committee. Nobody else had that kind of a welcome committee, but you know, you could tell that the community really wanted the Division of Motor Vehicles headquarters to come to Rocky Mount. The owners of this facility, they put in a competitive bid and they won that competitive process.
What's your vision? Are you going to be utilizing a lot of the buildings on the campus or primarily the tower or what?
Well, right now we have, out of the, 6 buildings, we have 5 of those buildings. And so we're using the majority of the space on this campus. And it's a great campus. Our employees love it.
We like to hear that.
And if I'm honest, and I am, our employees, some of them who've been traveling to the New Bern Avenue site in Raleigh, have a much longer commute, including myself. They say to me all the time, if I didn't have to make that drive, it would just be perfect.
Well, and your employees, a bunch of them came, but probably not. We're hoping there's some openings and some opportunities for our local citizens to apply to work.
Yeah, so I reported to the Oversight Committee, the Transportation Oversight Committee a couple months ago, back in December, that we have about, at that time it was a 27% vacancy, just for headquarters. It's less than that for the entire state operation. But yes, we need employees. We are filling positions. We're posting those positions every single day. We're filling positions every single day. And we are looking to the Rocky Mount community, the area, for employees. As a matter of fact, I talked about the open arms that we received, and some of those community partners are like the Rocky Mount OIC and the Wilson OIC and the community colleges in the area. We brought them all around the table, and on a weekly basis, every Friday, we have a meeting with them to let them know what the recruitment effort is. And they have been a tremendous support for what we've been trying to do to find talent in this area. And a strategy, to be honest with you, some people may see that there are temporary positions offered on the website. Well, that's so that we can move quickly. And we also like to get the community, people who come into the organization, the right experience. And we try to, as much as possible, transition those individuals who gain that experience through temporary work to be qualified for those full-time opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Well, with the pandemic and the move and the real ID, I know you got some pushback on the speed and had to move back when that's required. Are you getting there? Do you feel like there's more control, and are you achieving your goals?
Well, we actually hit our Real ID goal. Our goal was to have between 2 and 2.5 million Real IDs issued by October 1, 2020. Mm-hmm. Well, the federal government pushed the deadline back a year because of the pandemic. And so we've hit that goal, and now we've got to get a little bit more. There was also recently passed by Congress the Real ID Modernization Act, which I'm really excited about. I wrote a letter to our delegation, our North Carolina delegation, encouraging them to support the Real ID Modernization Act, because what it allows us to do, I think, is to issue these credentials more securely by providing the opportunity for states to do system-to-system electronic verification of identity. So example, when you come into the driver's license office today, we will communicate electronically with the Social Security Administration to verify that your Social Security matches your name, your Social Security number that you provided matches your name. And my argument to Congress was that, well, that's a very secure way of doing things because we're communicating directly with the host, the Social Security Administration, the host of that data. And we can do that with more things. So you have a passport. If you have a passport, well, you've been vetted at just as high of a level. Why shouldn't we accept that passport, verify with the State Department that you are who you say you are, and just issue that Real ID without having to come into the office and provide all of this documentation? We already have it. We just need to verify
utility bills
it.
and all those things. Yeah,
we've already got that information. It's on file with the State Department. Why can't I just do a verification with the State Department and say that, hey, Jean qualifies because she has a passport. Let's just go ahead and issue it. by phone or online or what have you.
I like that because I think a lot of people had to go back home and dig out proof of things, and that was tough.
One of the big things that was slowing us down was scanning the documents, but documents hold information, and that information is hosted somewhere, and we have the means. Technology allows us to verify information every day.
And you've seen technology make a big difference for DMV, haven't you?
Oh my goodness, yes. I'm proud of what we have done. I look forward to what we will do. They're parts of my organization right now. We're starting to use AI, artificial intelligence, to take over some of those mundane jobs or processes, mundane processes that people do on a day-to-day basis. And so the goal is not to get rid of people. The goal is to push our people up the value chain. So if someone's doing data entry, we now have technology that can do that data entry for us. And what their new role will be is data analysis. So we don't get rid of people, we just push them up the value chain.
I love that.
Yeah, and we need it because of the volume of work that we're doing in this organization. One part of my organization, we're using what we call optical character recognition to do out-of-state convictions, which is a very big deal. I mean, especially on the CDL side, the commercial driver's license side, there's a federal compliance that we update those records within 10 days. That's hard for a lot of states to do, but our work with the Department of Information Technology has gotten us to a place where we have implemented a scanning solution that reads the documents, updates the record. Our people do the data analysis just to make sure that everything's lining up. And what might take years is now taking us months.
Tori, as a consumer, I think a lot of people who are listening to this are thinking, my big deal is when I have to go stand in the long line at DMV, and of course with the 6-foot distance between all of us. Is there anything on the horizon to help shorten that?
Well, there are some things on the horizon. What I also like to encourage people to do is look online. We do have online services, both for vehicle registration renewals as well as renewals of your driver's license. Of course, the Real ID today, you have to come in the office, but we're working on that through the allowance that the Real ID Modernization Act is going to provide to us to do some remote transactions. That is on the horizon, and we're working to try to figure out what those rules will be. But there's some other things that we're working on too. We're going to pilot soon, I hope, how people can use tablets in our offices, like self-service tablets. The other thing that we have on the horizon as well is, the pandemic has kind of propelled us to move faster in this direction, because it's a direction I wanted to take anyway, is to what I call get in line online or check in virtually. So when you go to the driver's license office today, if we were under normal conditions where we weren't 100% appointments, you'd go, you'd get in line, and then once you got to the front desk, they'd give you a ticket or a number, and you'd wait until that ticket or number is called, right? Well, now what we're moving towards is giving you that ticket virtually. So it may be on your phone. And so if you need to do some shopping nearby or some banking nearby, you can go ahead and take care of whatever business that you need to take care of and not use that same time standing in line waiting for your number to be called. So we can send you a text message from wherever you are. Those are some of the things that are on the horizon, and the pandemic has kind of pushed us in this direction, but this is just good stuff, good customer service regardless of whether we're in a pandemic or not.
Well, I was going to ask you to wrap by looking to the future. It sounds like you've been doing that, but it sounds like we also are very, very blessed to have you and your skill set in this organization to be making these changes that are so needed right now.
Well, I am blessed to be around some people who have the skills and the technology. I just have the vision.
Great combination. Yes. Commissioner, thank you. And once again, welcome to Rocky Mount.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Hello, and thank you for having me. I'm Renee Chu at WRL News, and incredibly pleased to be joining you virtually for the 117th Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. It's an honor today to recognize someone who has done incredible work in the Twin Counties region, Dr. Valerie Howard Bridges. Dr. Bridges is the recipient of the 2020 Distinguished Citizen of the Year Award. The Distinguished Citizen of the Year Award is the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce's most prestigious honor. It recognizes a leader who unselfishly gives their time and talent to the citizens of our community and enhances the quality of life for all. Dr. Bridges was appointed by the Edgecombe County Board of Education as Superintendent of Edgecombe County Public Schools on June 29, 2017. During her time as a superintendent, she not only poured herself into the community she serves, but also elevated the quality of education and life for children in the Twin Counties region. Before working in the eastern region of North Carolina, she worked in Guilford and Wake County Public Schools as a high school teacher, middle school assistant principal, and elementary principal. During her tenure as principal, Dr. Bridges was nominated as Principal of the Year several times and was named 2007 Principal of the Year by Guilford County Association of Educational Office Professionals. Her school was selected as one of the 15 most improved schools during the 2007 school year and met high growth standards during the 2008 and 2009 school years. As a school leader, she has implemented multiple programs to improve academic achievement and student support, including 40 Days of Purpose, Principals, Days of Peace, and Covey Moments. Since filling the position as superintendent in our region, Dr. Bridges follows one rule, which is also her favorite motto: whatever it takes to help children succeed. Several initiatives, such as the Opportunity Culture, North Phillips School of Innovation, and the Design Thinking Work Program, were facilitated through her leadership and hard work, each one helping students and staff reach their full potential. Dr. Bridges is diligent in making sure that all schools continually improve with a focus on growth potential. She has done this by developing collaborative partnerships with the faith-based community, nonprofit organizations, local businesses, government leaders, and of course, hard work. Last year, however, the pandemic made those efforts difficult. Everyone, especially those working in the school system, are aware of the many challenges brought on by COVID-19. In the midst of the crisis, Dr. Bridges has been able to support children and families through transformational ways of learning, such as the learning pods that were created at West Edgecombe Middle, Phillips Middle, North Edgecombe High, and Princeville Elementary School. Through her vision, hard work, dedication, and quest to improve education and enrich the lives of all students, Edgecombe Public School Systems has received major grants to support and expand the work ongoing in the schools. Today, Dr. Bridges continues to put in the required work to lead an incredible team in Edgecombe County schools. She's often described by her colleagues as a dedicated leader, good communicator, collaborator, and a visionary deeply committed to her work, staff, and students. Dr. Bridges is married to Ronald Bridges, and they have two children, Garrett and Kennedy. She is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and an engaged participant in her church. Dr. Bridges earned a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, a master's degree in business administration from Meredith College, teacher certification from St. Augustine's University, and a master's degree in school administration, as well as a doctorate degree in educational research and leadership from North Carolina State University. We would like to celebrate Dr. Bridges for the work she has done and the work she continues to do today. As a thank you to Dr. Bridges, we would like to present her the prestigious Distinguished Citizen of the Year in honor of a lifetime of leadership to her community, state, and country for her active involvement in exemplifying the American spirit. Congratulations to the 2020 Distinguished Citizen of the Year recipient, Dr. Valerie Howard Bridges.
Good morning. What a wonderful introduction. As introduced, I'm Valerie Bridges, the super proud superintendent of Edgecombe County Public Schools, where we believe that our scholars possess the skills and determination to reimagine their lives. I am honored and humbled to be named as the 2020 Distinguished Citizen of the Year for Rocky Mount by the Chamber of Commerce, which is led by Mr. David Ferris. I would like to begin at the beginning, or as Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind, by thanking God, who is the head of my life, His is the way in which I chart my course of action. My aim is to always please him. I miss the mark some days, but that's the joy and the gift of tomorrow. I would also like to thank my family. They are the source of my success. They have always encouraged me to go farther and be more than even I thought I could. My mother, who is the best educator that I know, and my husband, Ronald, who is always patient and kind. It truly takes that type of mate for a busy woman who doesn't really see no as realistic and leans into challenges. Thank you to my children that inspire me to be the best me each and every day. I would like to offer a huge thank you to my Edgecombe County Board of Education. They are extremely supportive. They love our community and continue to believe in the educators that make magic happen for our students daily. I would like to acknowledge my school system family, the principals, assistant principals, teachers, teacher assistants, the office staff, the bus drivers, the custodians, child nutrition, education specialists, curriculum support, technology team, our school nurses, our school social workers, counselors, our central office, transportation, maintenance, and of course, our community. Thank you for believing in me and supporting the school leaders and teachers as we help create opportunities that spark our students' passions and dreams. And last but not least, thank you to my students for simply allowing me to be your superintendent. What a blessing and joy you all are. I recently started playing golf. I'm not so good, but when I'm on the golf course, I look the part. I have on my collared shirt, I have on my golf skirt or slacks, and my fancy dancy golf shoes, and my glove and clubs. I look like I know what I'm doing. I'm getting better, but it's a long road, and I'm enjoying the journey. So in golf, as in life, there's a front nine and a back nine, hence 18 holes. And each hole, as in life, has its twists and its turns, difficulties, and unique attributes. And we generally get better at predicting the twists and turns the longer we play golf and the longer we live and we acquire more experiences. So in my career, as well as my life, I'm in the back nine, meaning I have several experiences. I have a beautiful, well-rounded career. I started in the business field and I was an accountant and auditor for the state. And then I went on and I've served in almost every role in education, beginning with the teacher, assistant principal, principal, and all the way up to superintendent. I have worked in the largest school system in the state, as well as some of the smallest school systems in the state. But as we ushered in year 2020, we had no idea what it would hold. And boy, did it hold us. It captured our attention, and on some days, it simply took our breath away. But we are resilient in ECPS. As a team, we showed up and we made things happen for our children. Let me take just a moment and share a few of the accomplishments that happened in ECPS despite a hellacious set of circumstances called COVID-19. And by the way, there's no blueprint for a pandemic. This was truly uncharted waters, and we had to figure it out on the fly, and figure it out we did. So we've distributed 398 hotspots. We've hosted over 100 professional development training sessions. We've checked out almost 4,000 Chromebooks. We have answered thousands of calls on the district hotline. We've provided over 75,000 masks, face shields, hand sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, and we've provided over 1 million meals to our students and the community. This doesn't include the countless number of hours teachers have provided whole group instruction and individual support for students to ensure that they were engaged and understood the content for the curriculum. This is the work of a team, my phenomenal ECPS team. I have the most amazing team that serves our students, and it's composed of our teachers and school administration and other school personnel, and our district action team who stepped in and stepped up immediately and filled the gaps to assure there was no break in service for students and for the community. So after dealing with the right here and right now, we had to make a quick pivot and continue to be an innovative school system because we insist on being known as that little school system that keeps surprising people. This is the work of my team, again, my phenomenal ECPS team. We are ambidextrous, meaning we feel compelled to focus on today while also planning for tomorrow. Why? Because our students are on the front nine, and we want them to have the best in life, the best golf game, and also the best life possible. Full of hole-in-ones, that's when you hit the ball off the tee and it lands in the hole in a single stroke. We want them also sprinkled with some birdies. That means you're scoring one stroke under par. And par is when what the golf course has said should be the number of strokes it takes you to get in the hole. So I want you to remember 3 words when you think of ECPS: resilient, resolute, and reimagine. Resilient, able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult conditions, be pliable, strong, and tough. As educators, our job and responsibility is to help our students become more resilient. We have to prepare them for the tough times and challenges. We have to get them ready for the do-overs of life, and they're called mulligans in a golf tournament, or a second try. We all need them, but the idea is not to give up. We have to be resilient and push up and through the rough patches. Resolute, determined and unwavering, purposeful and driven. We want our scholars to know their passion and live them out. Be determined to be successful. Be driven with focus and purpose. So in the game of golf, this means hit them straight and hit them long. Sometimes you have to yell "4" before you hit the ball with power, because you want to make sure you don't hit the golfer playing ahead of you. Reimagine means to rethink, reinterpret imaginatively. We want our students to be the architects of their own lives, write their own stories, and create their narratives. We want them to hold on to success until it belongs to them. We want our students to be resilient in their beliefs, be resolute in their efforts to achieve social justice, and believe that they can reimagine their lives based on not the probable, that which most is likely to happen, but we want them to think about the possibilities, which is based on their potential and their extra effort. So I promise you, in ECPS, we work as a team. We have coined the verbiage ECPS, safe, strong, and ready. And we are determined to be that little school system that continues to surprise people. Thank you again to the Chamber and those who nominated and selected me as the 2020 Distinguished Citizen of the Year for Rocky Mount. But I don't stand here at the podium alone. I stand here representing my students because their families entrust me and the teachers and our staff with their most precious and most valuable asset each day, and that's their children. I stand up here with and for our children. They're our future. As we watch, we encourage, we support, we guide them through the front nine of their life. And listen intently as they have the opportunity to yell "4" as they hit the golf ball straight and long on the pathway of the fairway of their life. Thank you for being my students, and always remember, I love you, Dr. B.
Dr. Bridges, do you mind joining me again, please, ma'am? Thank you. Okay, so it is my absolute pleasure to present you with this beautiful award from the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce. It reads, Distinguished Citizen of the Year 2020, presented to Dr. Valerie Bridges in recognition of your outstanding leadership and dedication to this community, and I could not endorse that anymore. Thank you so much, Dr. Bridges. And one other thing, every educator should have an apple, so we have a special apple picked just for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. Growing up, I remember my mother saying, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. February 2020, I stood before you and laid out my plans for your Rocky Mount Chamber to become more connected with its members while thinking regionally. Little did any of us know that life as we knew it was about to change substantially. The result? Businesses help businesses, and your chamber found new ways to accomplish their goals. Zoom became part of our daily lives, home delivery became routine, and for a while we all searched for that elusive toilet paper. Last year, I quoted Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. As a chamber, as a community, and as individuals, we have done just that. We reached beyond our normal and created our new normal. COVID did not stop our mission. We wanted to embrace change. Well, we certainly did just that. While it may have been out of necessity, we embraced change. We wanted to create new bonds with our membership. Our chamber reached out to assist businesses in new ways this past year. We created a membership committee to be led by Jean Kitchen. Along with our ambassadors, this committee is charged with working with Sam to ensure that all members have the tools they need for success from your chamber. And the Minority Business Economic Committee was formed under the leadership of Dr. Haywood Parker. This committee is made up of amazing individuals who will ensure that our chamber embraces diversity. I would like to say thank you to David Ferris, who managed to keep our chamber strong while some other chambers really struggled this past year, and who reached out to our members to inquire, how can your chamber help? Thank you to the amazing chamber staff who adapted new technology to keep us connected, who passed out masks and again asked, what can your chamber do to help? Thank you to my board for being willing to take on the work we had planned for 2020. Many of you will continue to work with Judd in 2021 as our chamber continues to grow. Most importantly, thank you to you, our businesses, for your spirit of fight and never give up, for your ability to think outside of the normal, and for the support you have shown and will continue to show each other. In 2020, I encouraged our businesses, our business community, to think regionally. The lessons we have learned from COVID have forced us to improve our regional skills. Today, I'd like to leave you with, don't let COVID be your excuse to not move forward, growing and adapting your businesses. Make COVID your reason to grow well beyond your comfort zone, to lend a helping hand whenever possible, and to continue to make the Twin Counties the place to do business. My prayer is that you believe and see the positive in this area as much as I do. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve you this past year. It's now my pleasure to present you with our 2021 Chairman, Judd, who will most certainly lead the Rocky Mount Chamber to new levels of success in 2021. John was named Plant Manager of Cummins-Rocky Mount Engine Plant, formerly Consolidated Diesel, on May the 11th, 2016. Before becoming Plant Manager, John served as Assistant Plant Manager. He also served in the roles of Director of Operations, Engine Business, Assembly Business Manager, Shop Operations, and various other leadership positions during his 32-plus years with this great organization. John obtained his Bachelor's of Science in Management and Organizational Development from my favorite, the University of Mount Olive. His affiliations and achievements include 2016 to 2019 board member of the Rocky Mount Chamber of Commerce, 2019 to present executive board member of the Rocky Mount Chamber of Commerce, 2016 to 2020 board chair for Strategic Twin Counties Education Partnership, better known as STEP, 2016 to present executive board member for Strategic Twin Counties Education Partnership, board member of the Red Oak Basketball Recreation League for 6 years, and baseball coach for the Nashville Recreation for 4 years. His awards and recognition include Certified Six Sigma Green Belt, the Hero Award as presented by Boys and Girls Club, Chairman's Quality Award, 6S Project, Mid-Range Leadership Team Program, Dale Carnegie School Graduate and Superior Achievement Award. John lives in Nashville, North Carolina with his wife, Diane. They've been married for 32 years and have 2 children, Jeremy, 28, and Haley, 23. John is a member of Church on the Rise, Rocky Mount location. John and his family enjoy outdoors cookouts, quality time with friends, and summer concerts, most of which we can still do even with COVID.
Hey, Amanda, if you would come back and join me for 1 minute.
Thank you.
Amanda, on behalf of the Chamber, we want to just thank you for all the work you did in your leadership. So on behalf of the Chamber, here's a gavel.
Thank you very much. Beautiful.
Thank you, thank you. And also, your choice of any restaurant, of course.
Okay, I love to eat a Chamber member restaurant.
Good. And a really special gift I know you're looking forward to. David, if you would bring from Senator Burr and his staff's group. This is a flag that was flown over the United States, provided by Betty Jo Shepherd. So thank you.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful. I'm so excited about this. Thank
Well,
you.
we're glad. Thank you for all you've done for us this year.
Appreciate your
And
time.
in years past.
Thank you.
In years future.
Yeah, in years future.
Thank you, Amanda. While phrases like the new normal and unprecedented are commonly used now, they do not capture the significance of change and disruption we saw in 2020. We have all been touched and impacted on a personal basis. As I reflect on your leadership during 2020, I think of words like passion, advocacy, and an overall commitment to the Chamber that describes the work that you led during these times of turmoil and uncertainty. As you leave this position, we are grateful for your continued service to the Chamber as an executive board member. Again, thank you for your leadership. As I stand in front of you today, I am honored and humbled to serve our community through this board chair position of the Rocky Mount Chamber of Commerce. I would like to thank my wife, Diane, and our 2 children for their ongoing support. To my Cummins teammates, David Ferris, the entire Chamber staff, and board members, I will work extremely hard and lead with humility and integrity as we collectively progress toward the future. As 2020, I do fear that our lack of personal interaction can drive a wedge between us and foster unnecessary contempt and uncertainty. Martin Luther King once said, "People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other." My commitment to you is that we will continue to communicate despite the challenges that keep us apart. As we focus toward the future, it will be important that the Rocky Mount Chamber continues to support business and stay aligned to our core competencies. Through our vision, we will serve as the leading advocate for sustaining and promoting economic prosperity in the region. The Chamber exists to foster economic growth and to advocate the commercial, industrial, and civic well-being of the region through a strong, expanding business base. We will value teamwork, inclusiveness, entrepreneurship, networking, and be the voice of business. Our strategic goals will include growing our membership, ensuring a skilled workforce and a stable workplace by partnering with the STEP organization. We will serve as the voice of business, and finally, we will focus on business development and your overall success. At this time, I am excited to introduce to you our executive team. I look forward to working with each of you. Chairwoman-elect Dr. Monique Brown, immediate past chair Amanda Bell, Treasurer Michelle Tuning, Secretary David Ferris, Vice Chair Business Infrastructure and Environment Kristen Brabble, Vice Chair of Marketing and Promotions, David Joyner. Vice Chair, Small Business and Entrepreneur Development, Aaron Gall. Vice Minority Economic Development Committee, Dr. Haywood Parker. This year, I am honored to also be able to work with our 2021 board members who are the following: Taylor Barker, Evan Covington Chavez, Sarah Dixon, Dr. Evan Duff, Aaron Evans, Tanya Evans, Lisa Ferguson, Adam Hodges, Dr. Lee Isley, Z. Lamb, Pam Armour, Wayne Murphy, Rebecca Parks, Donald Raper, Tina Taylor, Norris Tolson, Dr. Tim Trainer, Rochelle Small-Toney. I would like to take this time to highlight those who have served on our board in 2020 that will be retiring. We appreciate your hard work and dedication and membership. Dr. Valerie Bridges, Shantae Garrett, Jennifer Gold, Wendy Marlowe, Aaron Brewer, and Cameron Stallings. In closing, I would like to thank our partners, chamber members, and the community for your time with us this morning. I am honored to work with everyone to make not only our chamber better, but the community in which we live. Thank you.
Once again, a big thank you to our outgoing directors, our presenting sponsor, the Rocky Mount Mills, our keynote speaker sponsor, City of Rocky Mount, Distinguished Citizen of the Year sponsor, Suddenlink, Chairman Circle sponsor, BB&T, Truist, Cummins-Rocky Mount Engine Plant, First Carolina Bank, and Southern Bank. Supporting sponsors, Body Knoll Enterprise, Coastal Credit Union, Dr. Monique Brown, Providence Bank, and PNC Bank. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Please stay safe and when possible, get the vaccine, and we will see you in person at Nash Community College Thursday evening, February 3rd, 2022. Count on it.